Okay, so let's talk about how this process works. Let's talk about how detoxing works and how it works a little bit differently for everybody, and what are the foods to keep, what are the foods to remove, depending on your own specific physical state. In nutrition school, we learned about such an important concept called bioindividuality, which is one person's food can be another person's poison, and vice versa. There are some foods, as I told you yesterday, we know are poison for everybody. Nobody benefits from eating ultra-processed junk food. No one. That includes all the junk food shops, that includes all the packaged food in the supermarkets, the candies, the cookies, the cakes, the cereal bars, the cereals, the pizza, the burgers, anything that comes packaged and is not fresh and is made in a factory, typically is not good for anyone. They're dead food. We call them dead, dry, and dumb foods. They don't provide you with any kind of nutrition. I think we can all agree on that. The confusion happens is when, especially on social media, you see a nutritionist tell you, eat all your protein, eat all the eggs, eat all the meat, eat all the chicken. And another one tells you, don't eat any protein, don't eat any eggs, don't eat any red meat. Drink raw milk, but don't drink pasteurized milk. Don't have any fruits. They're full of sugar. They're going to raise your insulin levels. Eat only fruits. So they're healing. Don't blend a banana in your smoothie. That's my favorite. As if we've left all the health problems in the world, and the only thing left for us to worry about is whether or not we're going to blend a banana in our smoothie. So it can be really confusing when we're working within foods from nature. So fruits and vegetables and animal protein, these are all foods from nature. And it's really important to note that historically, even though I put these on the list of foods we need to detox from, it is animal protein and eggs and things like that. Historically, these foods weren't ever problematic. We evolved as human beings consuming animal protein, consuming eggs, maybe a little bit of dairy, also consuming wheat. These foods didn't create problems until humans intervened and basically ruined the way that God intended us to eat these foods. So animal protein is not the same animal protein that humans were consuming hundreds of thousands of years ago, not even 150 years ago. Animal protein now is full of hormones, it's full of antibiotics. The animals themselves are not fed simply, which means they're not just given the basic nutrients that if they were left in nature, that's all they would be eating, which is basically grass and maybe other animals. They're being fed corn and soy and garbage and the remains of other animals on top of being given hormones and antibiotics, all of which end up in the animal products and the dairy and the eggs that we consume. So just because we historically have consumed these foods doesn't mean that they haven't recently become problematic, and we need to reevaluate how they affect our body. Another reason we're not able to process these foods the way our ancestors did is because our ancestors didn't eat all of the crap that's also available to us today. So they weren't also on top of basic animal protein, fruits and veggies, also eating McDonald's, Pizza Hut, crappy cereals, juices, canned foods, canned products, all of that stuff. So our systems have become incredibly overburdened and incredibly pushed to their limits. And we keep forcing the body to try and process and try and live with toxins, chemicals, food-like products. They're not actually foods. We keep pushing our bodies and forcing our bodies to adapt to these fake foods and toxic chemicals. And then when the body doesn't, because it's not created to, we blame the body for not being able to adapt to toxins and chemicals and fake foods that it was never created to adapt to in the first place. So instead of blaming your body, and instead of feeling like your body is working against you, listen to your body and listen to the symptoms that your body's giving you. And this is what's going to determine how you move forward and what degree of detoxification is appropriate for you. Nobody needs junk food. If you are a healthy adult, with zero symptoms. So when I say zero, I mean you have zero symptoms. You sleep deeply, you don't have any headaches, you wake up with energy, you don't have body aches, you don't have any kind of diagnosed condition whatsoever. You work out, you have focus, you don't have brain fog, you don't have skin issues. There's nothing wrong with you. And this will probably mostly apply to young adults, teenagers. 40 and above, there's only about 8% of the world that falls into that category, sadly. If you have nothing, then you are in what we call preventative mode. So you're very lucky because you are in a position to stop or prevent any of the conventional, what's considered normal adult onset diseases to happen to you, because everything that we experience from our 40s onwards, and sometimes even earlier, what we consider old age, hormonal imbalances, fatigue, headaches, body aches, insomnia, the things that happen to us as ladies in perimenopause and menopause, diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, even cancer, all of those don't just suddenly burst and pop out when you're in your 40s or your 50s. They slowly, very gradually been developing since childhood. That erosion, that cellular malfunction that I'm talking about doesn't just happen when you're an adult. Your body's very resilient. The body keeps fighting it until it can't. We give it the label of, oh, we're just getting older, but it's just the body reaching a tipping point. Like it just can't help you anymore. So if you're a perfectly healthy adult, you are in preventative mode, and take advantage of that. Get rid of the junk now. That's not food. That's toxic poison. Your body does not recognize and has a very hard time breaking down junk food, burgers, pizza, cereals, processed foods, desserts, apples, all the crazy protein powders, whey protein, all the stuff that is packaged and sitting on a supermarket shelf for months before you buy it and consume it. Get rid of it all. You don't need it. It's doing nothing for your body. Instead, fill up on plenty of fruits and vegetables every single day. There isn't a single fruit and vegetable, especially fruits, that can harm you. There isn't a single fruit that's going to give you diabetes, not mangoes, not grapes, not watermelon. Our hospitals are not full of sick and ailing people because they've overdosed on fruits. Not a single one. There isn't a single person who got diabetes because they overate fruits. There isn't a single person with high blood pressure because they overate fruits and vegetables. Indulge in all of nature's bounty, every single fruit, every single vegetable. There are no vegetables that are going to affect your thyroid either, as you commonly see. So kale is great, spinach is great, cabbage is great. It's not going to create a thyroid problem in the future. That's not how thyroid problems happen. Eat all of your fruits and vegetables. Have your animal protein, have your steak, have your chicken, have your fish. Make sure that they are the highest quality animal protein that you can find. So as much as you can, make sure the animal protein is grass-fed, is organic, is hormone-free. I know in Egypt this can be a challenge. I know that we don't have 100% organic grass-fed, but as much as you can, focus on getting high-quality protein. Have a little bit of nuts and seeds. They're not very healing. So beans, legumes, ful, nuts, they're not very healing, but they're not going to harm you either. So have a little bit of that. You don't need any dairy. You don't need the milk. You don't need the cheese. You don't need the yogurt. Dairy is full of hormones. Even if you're getting dairy from a hormone-free cow, that cow has her own set of hormones. Look how big a cow is. She has her own massive amounts of estrogen going through her. And even if your dairy is hormone free, you're going to get the hormones from this cow. And that is going to affect your own hormones, especially ladies. It's going to affect estrogen, even if your estrogen is currently balanced. Gentlemen, it's going to affect your testosterone, even if your testosterone is currently balanced. Too much dairy consumption can lead to breast cancer, can lead to prostate issues. Can you go and have a piece of cheese or enjoy a cheese board every once in a while if you are perfectly healthy with no other symptoms? Of course. Can you go have a little bit of bread or a little bit of oatmeal every now and then? Yes, you can, because your body is not showing signs of discomfort yet. It's not showing signs of dis-ease. You are in preventative mode. So what you want to do is make sure that you are slowing down or even stopping the process of the gradual erosion in your cells that happens when you eat that list of foods that I mentioned yesterday regularly. So it's not about what you do every once in a while. It's about what you do on a regular basis that makes a difference to your health. So if you have zero symptoms, you are in preventative mode, get on it. You're very fortunate. You're very lucky that you don't have to reach a point in your life like the rest of us in our 40s and 50s where we are in damage control mode. You are in preventative mode. If you are an adult and you have any signs of a chronic condition, from the simplest signs like constant fatigue or insomnia or regular headaches, all the way through to diabetes, high blood pressure, any autoimmune, a thyroid condition, perimenopause, fibroids, endometriosis, painful periods, horrible insomnia, liver issues, MS, fibromyalgia, you name it, any diagnosed condition. And if you don't have a diagnosed condition, but your body is starting to show symptoms of erosion, and this is really important because most people ignore the simple signs of erosion. Most people ignore body aches, headaches, fatigue. We ignore them because we think this is supposed to happen when we hit midlife. This is supposed to happen when we hit middle age. But these little symptoms that probably don't require any medication, you might take a Panadol or a Tylenol or something for a headache. These are the earliest signs that your body gives you that it's on its way to something more significant. It's on its way to bigger erosion. It's on its way to more significant cellular malfunction. So don't ignore these. Just because it's not a diagnosed, medicated condition, don't ignore it. Having, constant insomnia, or being constantly fatigued, or having daily body aches, or having daily headaches is just as serious as somebody who's already been diagnosed with diabetes or high blood pressure, or somebody who's already got endometriosis or fibroids. Because this one, your body's on its way to getting to this one, and you want to prevent that. So if that's where you are, and depending on where you live in the world, between 88% and 92% of the population falls within this category of chronic conditions or on their way to chronic conditions, metabolic diseases. That's huge. Between 88% and 92% of the world is suffering from these chronic conditions that we're told we have nothing, there's nothing we can do about. We can't reverse it. It's not in our hands. That's just how it is. It is 100% in your hands. I have been doing this work for 11 years. I have seen every single one of these conditions heal naturally using just food and nutrition. If you want to, key word, right? You have to want to do this. So if you want to, if you fall into this category, then we need to detox a bit deeper. We need to remove all the things that might be overloading your system, because your system is actually showing us signs that it's exhausted, it's tired. So we need to give it a break. We need to give it a chance to reset to zero, and then you can gradually rebuild within the framework of healthy foods, the ratio of the healthy foods that works for you. So if this is where you're at right now, we will remove all animal protein, chicken, red meat, fish, you name it. We will remove all the grains, all the wheat, all the rice, the fric, the dairy, the hummus, the fool. All of that has to go. We will remove all the dairy, cheese, yogurt, milk. We will remove those, as well as the corn and the soy, seed oils, and any genetically modified product. We will focus on the bulk of your consumption would be simple fruits and vegetables in all their forms. So whether juices, soups, cooked vegetables, fruit salads, all the foods that are easy for your body to break down, and at the same time are the highest in terms of nutrient density and the highest in terms of healing potential. Nothing heals like fruits and vegetables, fruits even being more powerful healers than vegetables. All of the healing success stories that you see on my page, this is exactly what these ladies and some gentlemen have done. Fruits and vegetables only. Give the body a breather. Your body has been working so hard for so many years trying to break down not only the basics that it should be able to break down, but we haven't even talked about, in addition to junk food, how your body is forced to try and break down the toxins from smoking, the toxins from vaping, the toxins from shisha, the toxins and chemicals from all the conventional beauty products, the toxins in your household cleaning products, the polluted air, stress. We're going to talk about stress next week. That's a huge one. We haven't even gotten to those. So we are asking our bodies to go above and beyond what they were created to do, and then blaming them when they're not able to do that and they buckle under the pressure. So we want to remove the pressure, remove the overload, remove the foods that are so hard to break down, and remove the foods that create the toxins and erode your cells. We simplify it down to fruits and vegetables. And then very gradually, as you start to improve, as you start to feel your symptoms go away, as you start to feel brand new again, then, right, junk food and all that crap is out. Never going to benefit from bringing that in on any level. We're going to go back to that list. Alcohol, no. Caffeine, yes. You might be able to bring in 1 cup of coffee again. Animal protein, yes, you will experiment to see what is the ratio of animal protein that works for you. Maybe even eggs, yes. Let's see how eggs worked for you. You were going to create a very specific blueprint or formula that is unique just to you, but within the framework of healthy foods. But in order to get to that formula, in order to get to that blueprint where you are symptom-free, so it keeps all your symptoms that you just reversed, it keeps them away. And it's preventative, so you're not gradually eroding your cells to where something might happen. That formula is going to be very different for each one of you. It's not about never, ever, ever eating these foods again. Even junk food, in your own blueprint, you will be able to say, right, I love pizza. I can have pizza once a month and it doesn't throw me off. It doesn't make me feel heavy. It doesn't give me constipation. I can have it once a month for 6 months and my period stays pain-free, and my endometriosis flare-ups are still at bay. I haven't gotten a single one. My fibromyalgia flare-ups are actually gone. And if I have a pizza once a month, it's still fine. That's what creating a blueprint is about. It's like, to what extent and what frequency can you bring in certain foods without them re-triggering your symptoms? And everybody's blueprint is going to be a little bit different, but you have to start at 0. We have to reset the body at 0, because if you're eating in a certain way right now, and you have any of the symptoms I keep talking about, from the most mild ones to the most extreme ones, and even if you're taking medication, then that way of eating is not working for you. It's not healing. Healing and healed means you are not on any medication and you don't have any symptoms. That's what healed means. So if you're eating in any way right now and you are not symptom-free and you are not healed and you are not thriving, then the way that you're eating needs to be tweaked. Then the way that you're eating needs to be revisited, and your body needs a full reset so that we can bring it back to balance, where you are thriving instead of just surviving, where you are actually healed instead of just managing your symptoms. Okay, so message me or email me if you have any questions about what I'm saying right now, because this is the way to heal. But it's a lot of information to take in. It can feel overwhelming. Oh my God, so I'm going to cut out meat and chicken and fish and eggs and bread and cheese, and what's there left to eat? But feeling overwhelmed when you first hear this is a completely natural feeling. And this is why when you join my program, you get a lot of support, and you get the plan that removes the overwhelm, and you get the accountability, and you get a community who's going through this journey with you. If you're ready to sign up, go ahead and message me. I'll get you set up. If you have questions, if you are not sure if this is for you, if you're not sure if your body is showing you symptoms or not, message or email me and we will have a conversation and I will help to clarify all of your concerns and all of your questions and help you decide on what is the next best step for you. Thank you for listening.